Making and delivering speeches to a public audience can be a difficult and nerve-wracking thing. The nerves that are made from the idea of making a speech can be overcome by just a little practice and training. I started making and delivering speeches when I was younger, probably back in elementary school, when I was going for president of student body in 6th grade at Pueblo Elementary School. I was nervous, insanely, crazily nervous that I was shaking, and I had to give a speech in front of an auditorium full of my classmates. But I practiced and practiced in front of a mirror, and from that, on the day of the election of my speech, I wasn't nervous anymore. And so many people out there have to make these horribly nerve-wracking speeches in front of people, and mainly because they probably suffer from speech anxiety, where they have a fear of delivering speeches in front of an audience. If they all had a bit of practice and training from, say, a speech therapist or coach, delivering speeches can be a piece of cake. Like in the movie The King's Speech, it represents the real-life experience in delivering speeches to a public audience. The son of King George V, David, he ascends to the throne after his father passes away, and he has a huge difficulty delivering speeches in front of the public, and being King of England, you're going to have to be able to deliver a speech in front of your public and your people. And he listens to himself reciting Shakespeare, and he realizes he needs some professional help to be able to give speeches in front of thousands of people. And so next, David goes to a speech therapist, Lionel Logue, who helped train him with relentless teachings to improve his speech talents in front of large audiences. Now, Logue, his trainings weren't exactly given with a friendly baked cookies and a hug. He was a little harsh, and the only way to get someone to get rid of their anxiety is by getting them nervous and, getting them training. And that's what Logue did for David. Now, his intense and rigorous and insistent demands that he gave David can be quite negative to the outcome of David's speech abilities. For instance, he had a couple of moments where he felt unworthy of being king, and because he felt he could not fulfill the duties that a king had to do by giving speeches in front of thousands of people. And so he got unfocused and was disapproved of himself and his speech givings, and basically he didn't believe he could be king anymore. But Logue gave him more training and more practice and insisted that he can do it, just like anyone else can, through practice and training. And David, he pursued and went through it all, and he went through many difficult little turns and everything, but he got through it. And Logue's training may be difficult on David, but it represents the amount of training and practice needed for people today to become great and flawless speech deliverers. Now, this film can relate to everyday speech givers and even public speaking students by showing the amount of training and practice that is needed for a person to deliver a flawless speech in front of even one person, 10 people, 100, 1,000, 10,000 people. I mean, it doesn't matter the size. As long as you deliver a good speech, the size doesn't matter. And so this movie can be an informational lesson to anyone who is looking for any ideas of ways to become better at delivering speeches. It shows the persistence and dedication needed to get out there in front of people and become a better speech giver. And public student speakers can even positively take from this movie the fact that practice in delivering speeches can make a better overall person and what they are, who they are, and how they run their life. And this movie can be an inspiration to those students who and people whom have had many years of difficulty speaking in front of people. And like what David went through, becoming king of England, he had to speak in front of thousands of people to represent himself as king. And this movie represents that experience that many people face when they have to deliver a speech. The King's Speech is a great lesson-giving movie that helps people, giving them information on to make perfect and flawless speeches, and through practice and instruction. The amount of time and dedication King George V, David, shows in the King's Speech is quite inspiring. For those who watch it, it will surely give you a positive outtake on what speeches can be like. For myself, I love this movie, and it has helped me see how easy and simple speeches can be through simple help and practice.